When you think about arthritis and joint pain, your mind probably goes straight to aching knees, swollen knuckles, or the stiffness that greets you each morning. Maybe you focus on exercise, pain relief, or the right supplements. But what if the real culprit, the thing silently fueling your pain, was hiding in plain sight, right in your cup every day? Millions of people pour themselves a glass of soda, sweet tea, or fruit juice, never realizing how much these innocent-looking drinks might be contributing to their discomfort. It feels so harmless: a can with lunch, a sweet sip at dinner, a cold bottle after a walk. But according to Dr. Alan Goldhamer, an internationally recognized expert in plant-based healing and fasting, the biggest trigger for chronic inflammation and joint pain might be what you're drinking, not just what you're eating. Here's why beverages loaded with sugar or artificial sweeteners deliver a direct hit to your system. Within minutes, they spike your blood sugar, forcing your body into overdrive to bring things back into balance. But it doesn't stop there. The rapid rise and fall in blood sugar triggers a wave of inflammatory chemicals that travel through your bloodstream and, yes, even to your joints. For anyone struggling with arthritis, this creates a perfect storm: more swelling, more pain, and faster joint damage over time. What's worse, these drinks aren't just empty calories. Many are acidic, stripping minerals from your bones and weakening the structures that keep your joints strong. They crowd out healthier choices like water or herbal teas, and provide nothing in return. No nourishment, no real hydration, only a deeper cycle of pain. You might be thinking, it's just one soda, or surely juice can't be that bad. But mounting scientific evidence says otherwise. Studies have found that even one sugary drink per day can dramatically increase your risk for developing arthritis, or make your symptoms worse if you already have it. Dr. Goldhamer's message is clear: inflammation is the hidden driver behind so many of our aches and pains. And sometimes, the fastest way to heal isn't found in another pill or supplement, but in removing what's quietly hurting you, glass by glass. In the next sections, we'll dive into the science behind how sugary and acidic drinks affect your joints, and more importantly, how making a simple change in your daily habits can bring real, lasting relief. If you're ready to take control of your pain, it might be time to look at what's really in your cup. The hidden inflammation trigger in your cup. Most people with arthritis already know that movement can be painful. But what if the real problem isn't just in your joints, but in your cup? Every day, millions of people reach for a drink that seems harmless. It's cold. It's refreshing. It's everywhere, from gas stations to dinner tables. But what many don't realize is that this popular beverage could be quietly fueling the very pain they're trying to escape. Dr. Alan Goldhamer, a well-known expert in plant-based healing and fasting therapy, has long warned about the hidden dangers of processed foods. But he's especially vocal about the role of sugary beverages. Why? Because these drinks don't just raise your blood sugar. They stir up something deeper and more damaging: inflammation. Inflammation is your body's way of protecting itself when you're injured or sick. But when it sticks around too long, when it's chronic, it starts doing more harm than good. For people with arthritis, this means more swelling, more stiffness, and more pain. And here's the scary part. Sugar-sweetened drinks are one of the fastest ways to trigger that chronic inflammation. You might think, it's just a can of soda, or it's only one glass of sweet iced tea. But the science tells a different story. These drinks go straight into your system, quickly spiking your blood glucose and kicking off an inflammatory chain reaction. That reaction doesn't stay in your bloodstream. It travels to your joints, making pain worse over time. And it's not just sugar. Many of these drinks are also acidic, stripping minerals from your bones and joints. They displace healthier choices like water or herbal teas, and they come with zero nutritional value. In short, they give you pain, not nourishment. Dr. Goldhamer often says, the problem is not the disease, it's the cause of the disease. And in many cases, the cause is what's hiding in plain sight, our daily habits. If you've been battling arthritis and wondering why your medications or supplements aren't giving you full relief, this could be one of the missing pieces. But here's the part most people miss. The science behind soda and joint pain. One study found something startling. Women who drank just one sugary soda per day had a 63% higher risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis. Just one a day. That's not a mistake. That's from a peer-reviewed study published in a major medical journal. And that's not all. In another large-scale study involving thousands of men, researchers discovered that those who drank soda regularly had faster progression of knee osteoarthritis, even when they weren't overweight. In other words, the drink didn't just put them at risk. It actually made the disease worse. So what is it about soda that's so destructive to your joints? First, it's the sugar. When you drink soda, your blood sugar spikes quickly, especially with drinks containing high fructose corn syrup. This triggers the release of insulin and sets off a chain reaction that leads to increased levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines. These are chemicals your body produces that promote inflammation, and they go straight to work attacking joint tissue. Second, sodas often contain phosphoric acid, a compound that gives them their tangy fizz. But phosphoric acid can interfere with calcium absorption, weakening your bones over time. For someone already struggling with arthritis, that's a dangerous combination. Inflamed joints and weaker bone structure. And here's something even more concerning. Many people with arthritis take pain medications, NSAIDs, or corticosteroids, which can already deplete bone density and put stress on the kidneys and liver. Adding sugary, acidic drinks into that mix, it's like throwing gasoline on a smoldering fire. Dr. Alan Goldhamer, in his decades of clinical fasting and dietary research, has observed that removing these kinds of inflammatory triggers is one of the fastest ways to help patients reduce chronic pain naturally. His patients often come in with arthritis, migraines, and fatigue, and after eliminating processed foods and sugary drinks, they report significant improvement in just a few weeks. But the science doesn't stop at soda. Even so-called healthy fruit juices, sweetened iced teas, and flavored waters can contain hidden sugars or artificial sweeteners that irritate the gut and inflame the immune system. And for people with autoimmune forms of arthritis, like rheumatoid arthritis or psoriatic arthritis, this can be a constant and unseen trigger. So, when someone says, "It's just a drink," remind them it's not just about taste. It's about what that drink is doing inside your body. And this next part might really surprise you. What sugar does to your body and joints. Here's what happens inside your body in the first 30 minutes after drinking a sugary soda. Within minutes, your blood sugar spikes hard and fast. Your pancreas scrambles to release insulin to bring things back to balance. But that sugar surge doesn't just disappear. It flows into your bloodstream, spreading into your organs and joints, and setting off an inflammatory alarm. Your immune system reacts like it's under attack, It releases white blood cells and inflammatory chemicals, thinking there's a threat. This reaction might seem harmless at first. It's just one drink. Right. But when this happens day after day, year after year, the inflammation becomes chronic. And for people with arthritis, that means more pain, more swelling, and faster joint damage. Sugar also affects your gut, the place where 70% of your immune system lives. When you consume too much sugar, harmful bacteria thrive, while beneficial ones decline. This imbalance is called dysbiosis. It may not cause symptoms immediately, but it silently feeds inflammation throughout your body, including in your joints. And let's not forget your bones. High sugar intake causes your body to excrete calcium in the urine. Over time, this weakens your bones, making you more vulnerable to fractures, stiffness, and the progression of osteoarthritis. Combined with phosphoric acid from colas, you're not just fueling inflammation, you're also slowly draining your body of minerals it desperately needs for mobility and strength. Even your cartilage, the slippery cushion between your joints, starts to suffer. Sugar increases the production of enzymes that degrade collagen and cartilage. As the cushioning wears down, bones rub against each other more easily, causing pain with every movement. Dr. Alan Goldhamer often emphasizes that most chronic conditions we see today aren't caused by a lack of medicine, but by an overload of dietary abuse. And in the case of arthritis, sugar acts like a slow poison. It doesn't just hurt you today, it shapes how much you can move, lift, and live in the years ahead. The good news: many people feel better within weeks of reducing sugar. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at one real-life case that proves just how powerful this simple change can be. Meet Lien, a 62-year-old retired schoolteacher from Da Nang. For years, she battled stiff knees, swollen fingers, and that deep, aching pain that made even the simplest tasks feel like a chore. She tried pain medications, herbal balms, and even acupuncture, but nothing seemed to last. Most days, she couldn't even open a jar without wincing. One evening, while scrolling through videos about arthritis relief, she stumbled upon a wellness seminar featuring Dr. Alan Goldhamer. The phrase that caught her attention was this: inflammation starts with what's on your plate and in your glass. It was the first time she'd ever considered that her daily drink might be part of the problem. Lien had been drinking 1 or 2 glasses of sweet iced tea every day for years. It's natural, she thought. Just tea and sugar. What harm could it do? But after watching that seminar, something clicked. She decided to stop. Just for a month, to see if anything would change. The first few days were tough. She craved that sweetness after meals. But she pushed through, replacing her sweet tea with warm water and slices of ginger or lemon. By the second week, she noticed something strange. Her hands didn't feel as stiff in the mornings. The swelling in her knuckles was going down. She could actually hold a cup without discomfort. By week 3, she was walking longer without needing breaks. And by the end of the month, she felt lighter, not just in her body, but in her mood. Her joints still ached occasionally, but the sharp, nagging pain that used to haunt her every evening was almost gone. When she visited her doctor, her blood pressure had improved, her inflammation markers were lower, and she had even lost a little weight. But the biggest win she felt, in control again. Lien now tells her friends that giving up sugary drinks was the easiest medicine I never took. her story isn't unique. Thousands of people like her are finding that small changes can lead to big relief. But you might be wondering, if you give up soda or sugary drinks, what should you drink instead? Let's explore that in the next section. Better choices for your joints. So, if sugary sodas and sweet teas are out, what should you drink instead? Let's start with the simplest and most powerful option: water. It may not sound exciting, but your joints absolutely love it. Water helps keep your cartilage soft and hydrated. It supports your synovial fluid, the natural lubricant that cushions your joints. Even mild dehydration can make arthritis pain feel worse. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses a day, more if you live in a hot climate or are active. Next, try herbal teas. These aren't just comforting, they can actually fight inflammation. Ginger tea, for instance, contains compounds similar to ibuprofen. Turmeric tea has curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory that's been shown to reduce joint swelling. And green tea. It's rich in polyphenols, which protect cartilage and slow down joint damage. Another surprising option is bone broth, especially homemade or low-sodium versions. Bone broth contains collagen, glucosamine, and chondroitin nutrients that support joint health and may ease stiffness over time. Just be mindful of store-bought versions that are high in salt or additives. You might be wondering about coffee. Believe it or not, black coffee in moderation can be helpful. Some studies show it may lower the risk of developing gout by reducing uric acid levels. Just be careful not to load it with sugar or cream. Stick to 1 or 2 cups a day and listen to how your body responds. If you miss the fizz of soda, try sparkling water with a twist literally. Add slices of lime, cucumber, or a splash of 100% fruit juice. You get the refreshing feel without the blood sugar spike. And here's something else. Warm lemon water in the morning can help detox the liver and gently alkalize your body. Both helpful in reducing inflammation. The key here is not just to remove the bad, but to replace it with better. When you nourish your joints instead of aggravating them, your whole body begins to respond. You feel lighter, looser, and more in control. But if you've been drinking sugary beverages for years, how do you actually stop? Let's make it easy and realistic. In the next section, how to quit sugar drinks without feeling miserable. Let's be honest, quitting sugary drinks sounds easy until you try it. If you're used to that cold can of soda with lunch or a sweet tea after dinner, your body's not just craving the taste, it's wired for the habit. And if you stop too suddenly, you might feel irritable, tired, or even get headaches. But here's the good news. You don't have to quit overnight to see results. Start small. If you drink 2 sodas a day, cut it down to 1. Then swap that second drink with something healthier like sparkling water with lemon or a cup of green tea. Give your taste buds time to adjust. Within a week or 2, you'll likely find the sweet stuff starts tasting too sweet. Use a visual tracker, a calendar, a habit app, or even sticky notes on your fridge. Mark each day you go without a sugary drink. Seeing your progress builds motivation. And when you hit milestones 1 week, 2 weeks, reward yourself. Not with food, but with something you enjoy: a walk in nature, a new book, or a quiet moment of self-care. Flavor your water naturally. Infuse it with mint, cucumber, basil, or a splash of fruit. Make it beautiful and refreshing. You're not just quitting something, you're adding something better. If cravings hit hard in the afternoon, it might not be about sugar. It might be about energy. Try a handful of almonds, a boiled egg, or a small serving of fruit with water. These give your body the lift it's really asking for. And don't forget support. Let a friend or family member know you're cutting back. Better yet, invite them to join you. Having someone to check in with makes the journey easier and more fun. Finally, be patient. This isn't about perfection. If you slip up one day, just pick it back up the next. Remember, the goal isn't to never have a sweet drink again. It's to break the daily cycle that's been silently hurting your joints. You'll be surprised how quickly your body rewards you with clearer energy, better mobility, and less pain. Now let's bring it all together with a quick recap and some final encouragement. Let's recap. Every sip of soda or sugary tea may seem small, but over time, it adds up. Science shows these sweetened drinks don't just spike your blood sugar. They fuel the inflammation that causes joint pain, stiffness, and long-term damage. Dr. Alan Goldhamer's advice is clear if you're living with arthritis. The most powerful change might not be in a pill. It could be in your cup. You've seen the research, the real-life story, and the better alternatives. You don't have to wait for a new medication or a breakthrough treatment. You can start today by choosing water over soda, herbal tea over sweet drinks, and awareness over habit. It's not about giving up pleasure, it's about choosing health. Imagine waking up with less pain, walking more freely, and feeling more in control of your life. That future isn't far away. It begins with one small step: what you drink next. So here's your challenge. Go to your fridge today. Take a look. Make one change. Just one. And if you know someone struggling with joint pain, maybe a parent, a friend, or a neighbor, share this video with them. It could be the conversation that turns their health around. Because sometimes, the biggest relief comes from removing the smallest daily habit. Your joints will thank you.